Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. This is take two, and I'm tired, and I just ate Taco Bell, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. We had 4 games this week that were very interesting. The Stallions are the only undefeated team in the league now, and we learned the value of a really good O line this week because we saw what happens when you don't have one. In the cases of the Showboats and the Roughnecks, it means your quarterbacks get harassed all day, every day. So let's get down to it. Defenders, Renegades. I said this week was going to be the Renegades breakout. I was wrong yet again, but I don't think that's my fault because they got real close to finally winning a game. The defenders just got hot. And I was impressed. I didn't think the defenders had it in them, but they did. And it was clear that they made the XFL championship last year, for a reason. They have grit. They're a solid football team. And then the Renegades, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, they just cannot seem to pull it together. They got so close this time. They got really close, and they just didn't win. They just could not keep their lead. And I mean, 3 weeks in, no wins under your belt, your chances of making the playoffs are just getting lower and lower. I don't know what's going on. And I like Luis Perez as a quarterback, but I'm just worried about the Renegades. I don't know what to say. I feel like their record still is not entirely fair to how actually good they are, but if they can't turn it around, I'm worried for them. The Defenders, meanwhile, I was talking mad shit about them last week, and they proved me somewhat wrong. They showed that they can win in big moments. And credit where credit's due. They did it. So good for them. I'm excited to see what they do next. Stallions Showboats was a blowout, and not an especially fun one. The Showboats just could not do anything against the Stallions defense. Their quarterback just was harassed all day. He got sacked 4 times at least, and then they put the backup in and he got sacked. They just couldn't do anything at all. Their defense kept giving them opportunities, and then they just couldn't capitalize because their offense just kept getting stopped again and again and again. It was horrible. But also, I have to give credit, the Stallions look like the best team in the UFL because they are the best team in the UFL right now. They're the only undefeated team at this moment, and I think that's well deserved and well earned because they just seem to have it, whatever it is. So good for them. The Showboats, meanwhile, I've been saying I think people are too high on the Showboats. Granted, they played the Stallions, who are the best team in the UFL. However, they just still have not shown me that they have the ability to create opportunities for themselves. Now, Panthers Roughnecks was also a blowout of a different kind. I stand by my take. I feel like this week especially just showed us the Roughnecks are fucking terrible. They're a bad football team. They're not good. They continue to shoot themselves in the foot again and again. The interceptions, the blocked punts, 3 blocked punts in 3 games. This team is ass. They haven't won anything. They haven't even gotten especially close to winning anything because they keep shooting themselves in the foot. Even when their defense gives them opportunities, their offense will find ways to get penalties or throw interceptions or get punts blocked and lose the game. It's so frustrating watching the Roughnecks because I want to see them do something right, and they just don't do it. They just seem incapable of getting out of their own way. The Panthers were very good. Jake Bates kicked very well. No, I'm not going to skip over the Panthers. They were great. It was a dominant performance. Their offense is obviously cruising. E.J. Perry is just an amazing runner as a quarterback. Jake Bates has just a mechanical leg, apparently. It was fun to watch them. It's just their stuff was not as impressive in the context that the Roughnecks are dog shit. Respectfully. And then Brahma's Battlehawks, which I thought was going to be a Brahma's win. I was wrong. I was impressed. The Battlehawks had failed to prevent the Panthers from staging the upset in week 1. I thought we were about to have a similar situation. The Brahmas scored a touchdown, got possession back, and were about to seemingly drive down the field and win the game. And the Battlehawks stopped them. They stopped it, which is exactly what I want to see. The Battlehawks learning from their mistakes and making changes so that they don't lose the same way they did earlier on. And they did it. I thought the Brahmas were going to win. I was wrong. It looks like the Battlehawks are a team that is willing to admit their mistakes and learn from them, which is one of the best qualities you can have in a football team, in anything, but especially in a sports team. to be able to learn from your mistakes and get better as a result. So I'm very impressed by the Battlehawks. I'm a little biased, as you can tell. The Brahmas, meanwhile, did not look bad. It was a solid game for them. Unlike the Showboats and the Renegades, they did not get blown out. It was a close, close game. They just couldn't quite pull it out. But I don't think that's any knock on them. I think the Brahmas are still an excellent football team. We're just going to have to see what comes of it. Also, these standings are fully incorrect, in case you were wondering. I'm tired. It's been a long week, and I leave on a road trip with my girlfriend tomorrow. So you're just going to have to deal with it. I'm pretty sure Battlehawks are above the Brahmas. These two stay the same. Like Panthers move up here, and Roughnecks are still at the bottom. So basically just whoop, whoop. Not that worried about it. Power rankings. Yeah, I'll break out the dry erase. Why not? I feel like it. It's going to be fun. This is already the shortest one of these so far because I'm kind of manic right now. So, number 8. I know you're all shocked to hear it. Once again, 3 weeks running, it's the Houston Roughnecks. Yeah, nobody's surprised. The Roughnecks are ass. Unless they can figure something out soon, I have no hope for them in the postseason at all. Number 7... I'm just losing hope with the Renegades. I really am. They have not won anything, including some actually decently winnable games. Obviously, we'll see when they play teams like the Showboats and the Roughnecks, but I'm just not holding out much hope for them at this point. Number 6, I'm going to say the Defenders, because they still have not quite won me over, but they're getting there. They're working on it. They are obviously improving. Number 5 is the Showboats. Actually, no. I'm going to swap the Showboats and the Defenders. Number 6 is the Showboats. No. Shoot. Okay. I'm going to make number 7 the Showboats. Because they did beat the Roughnecks, which means they are a better team. But they just have not impressed me at all. So that means number 6 is going to be the Renegades. Number 5 will be the Defenders, because they're obviously improving as the season goes on, and I'll give them credit for that. Number 4 is going to be the Panthers, once again. I think the Panthers are really solid. I'd like to see them pull out a big statement win. Obviously, the Battlehawks win was amazing for them, but losing to the Stallions and beating the Roughnecks are not really great looks necessarily. I want them to get a big win against a team like the Brahmas or the Defenders. I'd love to see it. We'll just have to wait and see. Number 3, I'm putting the Brahmas. I think they've moved down a bit, mostly because they lost to the Battlehawks. I don't think that's any knock against them. They're obviously one of the top teams in this league. They just need to lick their wounds and keep moving. Number 2 is the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks are just, they continually showing that they're just a solid team who are willing to learn from their mistakes and improve. And number 1, I don't know how you could dispute it, it's the Birmingham Stallions. It doesn't seem fair. The Stallions have one of the top defense in the league, a great running quarterback, a great passing quarterback. What do you do against that? There's no answer for that. It doesn't seem right. It's like, how? How do you win football games against that? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, these are my power rankings. Voila. Yeehaw. Woohoo! Okay, so let me look at the matchups for next week. Okay. Memphis Showboats versus St. Louis Battlehawks. Maybe the Showboats can prove me wrong, but somehow I doubt that. Sincerely doubt that. I'd love to see it, but I also wouldn't because I like the Battlehawks a lot. I think they could possibly make it close. They kept it close with the Brahmas, granted. But I'm just not holding out much hope. Defenders and Stallions is interesting. It's an interesting game. I think the Defenders will keep it competitive, but I don't think it's going to be super close by the end of the game. I think that the Stallions are for sure going to win. Panthers Brahmas. Oh, ho, ho. That's the matchup of the week for me. I truly don't know. Um, my gut's telling me the Panthers, actually. Even though I put the Brahmas above the Panthers, I think the Panthers could stage the upset. I would not be surprised at this point. The Panthers have just proven themselves to be so solid. I could see it going either way, though. I think the Brahmas have a perfectly valid chance at this game. And then the Renegades and the Roughnecks, the two winless teams. Okay, so one of them's going to pick up their first win of the season, and it's going to be the Arlington Renegades, because the Roughnecks can't let themselves win. They find ways to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory time and time again. The Renegades will win. The Roughnecks will continue wallowing in misery. Now, granted, I got two of my predictions wrong last week. I thought the Renegades beat the Defenders, and they almost did, but the Defenders pulled it out at the last second. I also thought the Brahmas would beat the Battlehawks, and they almost pulled it out at the last second, but they got stopped. Credit where credit's due to the Battlehawks. So we'll see. But anyway, that's going to do it for my recap of Week 3 and my preview of Week 4. Thanks for watching. Enjoy these next 4 games. Hope you have a good weekend, and go Battlehawks.